Hey guys, this is Mo from Mo. Okay, guys, this is Mo from Mo in the Deep End, and we are trying something new-ish. I'm going to see if this works, because Lord, yeah, we all need technical difficulties as per usual. Let's see here if I can do this. This is going to be awesome-ish. I'm using a lapel mic. It is the brand newest technology-ish of all the things. So this might be the cluster of all cluster Fs, as Nick has, so generously given us. Oh, for the love of all that is Cheetos, stop. I get all the new play toys and then I suddenly don't know how to use them. This is going to be awesome. This is the first time I've done one of these live. This is the Gareth Pursehouse Big Sad Murder Board. So we start out with the man himself, the big sad man himself. Pipe down the shirt. I hope that you guys can hear me. This is my brand new to me from eBay lapel mic. So hopefully this is working. If not, I will redo this all as a recording and like I've done the other murder boards. But Mr. Gareth, big snot bubble baby boy, was the son of a stalker. Yes, he was. Son of a preacher man. Nope. Son of a stalker man, as we learn. His dad actually was, hey, I'm making law simple. You make this whole camera looking thing look really easy. It is not really easy. If I remember how the buttons work, that would be awesome. If I also remember to have bigger handwriting, that would be awesome. But he was the son of a stalker man. His dad was actually brought up on charges before he passed away of stalking his ex-fiancée. So maybe it is the fruit of the poison tree. We don't know. He was a computer guy and a supposed model of sorts. I still say facts, not in evidence. We have seen his driver's license photo and is not evidence of anything remotely comparative of a model. And he was the defender of that. Look, I have not watched Game of Thrones, so I don't know, but he is the defender of, I guess, interfamily love and tower eating of young people. Okay, I will do that. Hi, Peace Peony. So he was in a year to year and a half relationship with Dr. Amy Harwick 8 to 9 years ago. So it's not like this was new. It's not like they had just broken up. He had 8 to 9 years to process. Now, sadly for him and his defense that they cooked up, he only knew of one therapist in California. I guess there was only one. According to him, it put him in a deep spiral of depression that he had to whore his way out of. I mean, that he had to sleep his way through all of the people and tell terrible jokes. We'll get to that. Now, after they broke up, he did actually break into their apartment and then break into their apartment again to leave flowers to apologize for the breaking into their apartment. Now, she did get a protective order against him for that shenanigans, and it was on file. Now, after this comes like a 9-year lull because, Amy moves on with her life, becomes an awesome person. He remains mired in his story a spiral of depression and sadness and all the terrible sad. Now, according to him, as you know, oh, for the love of Cheetos, they need a slow stop you thing. There are no therapists in California, not one, except for Amy Harwick. Not one. Oh, I'm glad. Well, I'm glad you can hear me and my lapel mic is working. See, I'm trying to give instruction to all lawyers that there are things called lapel mics, and you can wear them and talk outside, you know. You can walk around, use your hands. There were sadly no therapists in California. He could not get help. It was just, you know, nothing to do. So he did meet Amy at the Hardys. I did trademark it. Adult Film Entertainment, call me if you would like to change your name, because I made it up. I think Sal helped. Oh, crap. Of course it is. All right, we're going old tech. That's why there's backups. All right, can you hear me now? We'll just go old tech. We will figure out the lapel mic later. All shall be good. So they met back up at the Hardys. And again, I trademarked that. Adult Film Technology Awards. Oh, well, I want to sound check and work that out. But again, Adult Film Awards, call me and Sal to be your publicist and to pay us for, you know, figuring out that name for you. Now, seeing Amy, I guess, just put him into snot bubble tantrum mode, possibly called him the B word or called her the B word. Also, anyone at the Hardys, I do need footage. I want snot bubble, like tantrum footage, all of the above, because this man is a man baby and should be shamed for his man baby tantrumness. Now, Amy did take 2 hours to try to talk this man baby down. You know, before and after, she basically spent about 30 minutes talking him down before, went into the Hardys, saw the awards. I have no idea if there were, like, performances. I really do need to go to these things now, and I definitely want to go and see a Hardys award. I know they're not called that. I still will be calling them that forever now. After this, she kinda left it that, you know, "It is what it is. I'm sorry you're sad, but I can't control that. You know, respect my boundaries." After that, he found her cell phone, uh, because he's an IT kinda guy, and said again, you know, "Respect my boundaries. I'm sorry that you haven't found peace, but, you know, leave me alone," kinda thing, and he found her address. Now, most of the people would say, "Hey, leave her the hell alone. It's obvious, you know, she's not that into you still." But what Gareth said is, "I think I need to try harder." So on the night of, you know, Valentine's Day, allegedly, although now fully, he broke into her house and possibly peed in the corner. I'm going to go ahead and throw that on him because I find that he peed in the corner. Now, according to him and the defense, which we'll get into, uh, he broke into the house just to talk to her with a syringe of 100% nicotine to possibly unalive himself, possibly not. There were more syringes of 100% nicotine at his house. There was a struggle hug to the neck or more. We're not quite sure. And then, Amy in full Spider-Man Assassin's Creed, parkour office space, balcony fell herself, and look what she done made me did because he was the big sad. That's his story that he was sticking to. Now, for the love of all that is holy, Mo, learn directions. They are backwards on the remote because you're a ding dong. Now, the victim in this case was the lovely Dr. Amy Harwick. She was a family sex therapist. Look, I don't know. She got, regular family therapist degree, and then she went on to a now defunct San Francisco Institute of Human Sexuality or something or other. I did a video on it. Um, it seemed very interesting. I do kinda wanna visit the museum that was affiliated with it. She, seemed very active in her pursuits. She was an advocate for mental health for the adult film industry. Uh, they did call it Pineapple Advocacy Group, which I find hilarious because of the pineapple connotation, but, you do what you do. Now, she spent, because she's a nice person, 2 full hours trying to talk this douchebag down. Now, I would have probably just pepper sprayed him in the face, but I'm not a nice person. I'm not a nice person. I dyed my hair red to warn people I'm not a nice person. And I don't deal with adult humans that act like adults. I just don't. I deal with children who act like children because they're children. But I'm not a nice person. So she spent 2 hours trying to talk down Snot Boy. She just, she was a nice person. She used all the therapist-y words. She tried to set up boundaries, but she did email herself with her concerns. She did email herself with concerns about him, still obsessing, the fact that she had concerns that he continued to obsess for the full 8 years that they had not been together, and she emailed and told other friends about Snot Bubble Boy finding her number and being very worried. Now, she did take steps also to increase her security, pepper spray, locks on her windows and doors, and other things like that. Now, she got attacked on Valentine's Day. She died of extensive internal injuries from both the fall from the balcony and the strangulation. Now, she also, I know you're going to, how dare she? But she also took a photo in lingerie, modeling once on this balcony, on said balcony. I know, you're shock and horror. How dare she? How dare she do this? Now, the next person we're gonna go to in this motley crew of whodunitness, come on now, stop being a giant pain in my technology is awesome. Everything is awesome except when I can't work it. Dr. Friendzone. And, oh, come on, you. I need a better remote. Oh, for the love of Cheetos. This is why I record these, because I'm a terrible, terrible remoter. And I need to work on this. Yeah, I am just awesome. It is, you guys have no idea. My technology points are just, you guys stand in awe of me all the time. Just, oh, she's trying. The roommate, nose bump allegedly. Now he did hear the possible break-in. He thought it was a glass breaking. He also heard the initial attack, but he thought Amy had seen a mouse or something. Look, I have thoughts as to what was going on during the time of the attack and what he was possibly engaged in because he seemed a little out of it. He also yelled up some cuss words because he was going to fight. He was going to, or at least yell some curses. But he could not find his keys or his phone. No, he could not. Now, unfortunately, Sir Orenthal James Simpson made it very unpopular and uncool to answer your door in the middle of the night in Hollywood. Because don't nobody want to be Kato Kalin anymore. So he ran and pole vaulted his ass over fences trying to get help for his roommate, but no one wanted to answer the door. So he finally found some guy wandering around the street, I think walking a dog. And after he ascertained that they had nothing to do with the attack, he called the cops. and he did talk to the first responders. Unfortunately, the first responders were a little more confused about his giant showcase of adult toys in his room, but he did have an explanation. He was, in fact, a multi-level marketer for adult toys. So, there's always a chance. Um, Now, there were a couple discrepancies with his testimony that the defense really had issues with. They claimed that his testimony changed after an article came out in, I think, the LA Times that he had not heard any sort of choking or strangulation sounds. But the detective said that that was not the case. And, his testimony had stayed pretty much the same. Now, we have bigger questions. Come on, technology. Oh, point it towards camera, Mo. Other direction. I have more questions for, and let's see if Tinder Gal Pal. I have way big questions. I have actually just one question, ma'am. You saw Garrett's uh, comedy. We're going to use comedy in a very loose term. And I mean loose as in like very loose. And you still went out with him? Ma'am, I need explaineration on this. I'm gonna need you to explain yourself to the congregation. Um, Now she went to see Gareth, or he texted her to come over the morning after. She helped clean his apartment because apparently she can't deal with messiness, doing all girlfriend services without being in a girlfriend relationship. And Gareth came up with the wonderful story that he got a black eye shaving because, as men do, apparently he just punched himself in the eye while shaving because that's what happens all the time. Now, the ME said that Amy had sustained major catastrophic injuries from the fall. Had she been outside an ER or OR when she had this, she might not have survived even if she had been right outside the OR. She had a lacerated liver because of her pelvis shattering, and basically all of the injuries, the way that the injuries presented, she could not have fallen parkour hanging on the balcony style the way the defense was saying. Now, also kind of peeing on the Cheerios of the defense, due to either uh, decreased adrenaline or strangulation, possibly, she would not have the strength to again parkour her way and Spider-Man climb her way onto the balcony. So again, I know we're shocked, but Gareth's series of events seem to be somewhat hard to believe. Now, we go to the funnest, and I do mean the funnest witness of the trial. We have, oh, for the love of goodness. This is why I record these things. Oh, for God's sake. Come on. We can almost do this. It's gonna happen. Adult actress, quotation heavy quotation mark. What in the hair extensions? Vocal fry times 110 to the 10th power. Um, and she was only on for a couple of minutes, but she'll live on forever in Dave's heart. Aspen heard the kerfuffle of Snot Boy and our lovely Dr. Amy Harwick, and she went to tell Dr. Friendzone. Dr. Friendzone, for the love of God. I knew I should have gotten the little more expensive one. They were like, "It's great, but the remote is a little touchy." Dr. Friendzone. Dr. Friend Zone was Amy's partner, and look, y'all, I am terrible with names, but I'm great with nicknames, so if you want actual names of these people, I will try to do that next time. But yes, Dirk, don't eat Cheerios at my house. Dr. Friendzone was actually, Dr. Amy Harwick's, partner in this advocacy group that they did for the adult film industry. I believe that it was more his, sort of idea first, and then she had sort of come, I know phrasing, but joined with him, and they had kind of gotten the ball rolling as far as that had gotten started. So this was kind of her first break in to this sort of industry. So they went to the Hardys together. Again, trademark, adult film industry, you will be paying me for this name. Now, he was told by Aspen that Amy was getting verbally assaulted by Snot Bubble Boy, and he hauled ass to go help his friend because, like I said, Dr. Friendzone wanted to help. He was trying to get out of the friend zone. I think we all saw it. He definitely was trying to move out of there. Allegedly, as an unpaid, unlicensed therapist and body language analyst, I deduced he was in Dr. Friendzone area. Now, he saw that Amy was able to talk him down right before the dinner and awards ceremony, and then he was there to monitor the 2-hour emo girl, teenage, 14-year-old diary hostage talk that Gareth had Amy listen to for the last, for 2 hours after this thing. So and then he was the one that kind of finished it and said, "Hey, we need to go, like, parking's done, the cleaning people are here, they're, clearing it out so we can turn it into a church or Disney on Ice or something, I'm sure." And then the defense did try to discredit him saying, "Hey, you didn't actually hear the B word, did you?" Well, surely if you didn't hear the B word, he wasn't actually having snot bubbles. I mean, if you didn't hear the B word, then he really wasn't that sad, but your whole defense is he was that sad. So, let's go to what the state had because, up till now, you're probably thinking, "Well, what does the state have?" And this poor man, how did he even survive with this whole sadness and this all the sads? I mean, it's terrifying, this whole sadness. I swear to God. Hate this camera. Oh, for God's sake. Half of this stream is just me yelling at this camera. This is hilarious. And this is why I don't take myself too seriously. This is why I'm only semi-professional. Just wait till I have an assistant. It'll be great. So the state, you're probably thinking, "Gosh, they don't have much." I'm sure this computer guy, this genius, he's had 8 years. 8 years to plan this. He is gonna be, he's gonna have a tac to neck. He's probably gonna go full on Navy SEAL Delta Force, just in, out, we own the night. Oh, no, no, ring cam entry and exit. Yeah, we have him on both ways, like, almost looking full on face. He did wear a sort of tack to neck Under Armour kinda thing, and had a little, like, fanny pack sort of thing. I mean, he tried. He had, cloth gloves, sort of. He managed to cut his murder mittens just a little bit breaking into the door. So he left all the DNA, his mug on the Ring camera, his mug probably on the Nest cameras, but the state didn't, procure the, requisite forms to keep the Nest, files for the 5 beyond the 5 days that I guess Google generally keeps them. Uh, They also have the text from him begging her for contact. The fact that he looked self-admittedly looked up her number without her consent, looked up her address without her consent, Amy's emails in which she, states that she's clearly afraid, Amy's statements to her friends, Amy's actions that, she was scared, so she increased her security and more 100% nicotine syringes at his house. Now, here's the other thing. Gareth, the big snot bubble baby, was 6'4" and about 230. Now, I know we see him in his more fluffy stage, like you see me in my more fluffy stage. And Miss Harwick is the weight that I lied to the government about on my driver's license. And she was 5'4". So, there was a little bit of a size difference. Now, somehow this was the defense, and it was unsuccessful, but let's see what they had to say, because I know you're gonna be shocked, but this is what good old Helen Lovejoy, the defense attorney, had to say. Well, now Gareth was the big sad. His life was destroyed. He was in a tsunami of sadness. You have no idea. She just would not talk to him. She had cut off all communication. What was a snot bubble baby boy to do? Well, he needed closure. And my God, what was a man to do? So he just broke into her house to talk. I mean, was it right? Well, Helen said no, but I mean, he needed him some closure. And wouldn't you know it? I mean, Amy was startled when she came in and saw this big, giant snot baby in her house, and she swung first. I mean, she swung first. Can you believe it? And he was forced to defend himself. I mean, it Y it happens. I mean, there was some fighting, there was possibly some struggle hugging to the neck. I mean, we can't really be sure, it was all a blur, but he was pretty sure. I mean, the medical examiner, she said, "If you're fully unconscious, you're going to lose control of your bladder and your bowels," and there was no chart. There was no loss control of her bowels, so obviously she was not unconscious. Therefore, she could have, in theory, run herself all the way to the balcony and, as any normal person would do when given a choice between door and balcony, run to the balcony, as you do, I mean, y this woman with a straight face and no deep conditioner for her hair, and I would just like to say, "Ma'am, deep condition your hair." But with a straight face said, "There was no chart, you know, she wasn't unconscious, there was nothing wrong with her. We can't even be sure of what happened, and really, all he wanted to do was talk, so it wasn't I mean, she went full on Sarah Boone, it was not intentional. Now, I can understand Sarah Boone going it full on, it was not intentional because Sarah Boone is a moron, allegedly. Allegedly, she is a moron and has not been to law school, but this woman all is now working and has a bar license in the state of California, and this is what she and Doogie Howser came up with, and I was like, "I can't deal with the stupid that is coming out of your mouth hole right now, ma'am." So, now, as I was listening to this, I was subtly watching the face of the pregnant prosecuting attorney, and it was filling my heart with joy because I saw a petty, "bring it on" face, and I love that face where it's like, "Keep talking. I would like to destroy your world soon. So I please keep saying dumb things because very soon I will destroy you." And you could see her face becoming more and more happy as this woman was talking, and I was like, "Oh god, she's going to destroy her. I can't wait." And she did. In about 20 minutes, she destroyed every single talking point this ridiculous defense had. So, in about 7 hours from start to finish, the jury decided that this man was guilty of first-degree murder, lying in wait, and burglary. Rightly so, as far as I can tell, because this man is a giant piece of human garbage, and I hope that the judge sentenced him to changing his name to Prison Pocket, because I can only imagine that the second worst name in the world would be, you know, Pursehouse, but I think we should upgrade him to Prison Pocket, and, I believe that will give him just enough time to write one funny joke before he dies. And that has been the Gareth Pursehouse, Murderboard with all technical difficulties, every single one of them. So, we will work on getting that better. Look, the remote is mirrored and prison purse, we can work on that. I like that. Yeah, so my husband, I got a mobile monitor, he just needs to set it up, so push the I should be able to push messages up when I'm doing this in theory, and I should be able to live it or write it live at some point again in theory, but that is well, I like writing notes. I know you guys are gonna be I like doing this because it makes sense to me to do it at the end. I like it, and I like making up nicknames for everyone. I know you're shocked. I just need to start writing down everyone's real name because I always just write down Doctor Friendzone or thank you so much, you guys. I will see you guys, probably Monday. I am going to take probably the rest of the weekend off because, quite frankly, this week has been a bit busy. So and it's been a bit busy. So I will see you guys in a little bit. I might jump on with Sal. We might be doing a little bit. Yeah, this is so fun. I love doing murder boards. I will that's what I love doing cases and murder boards. So we will be doing these for every case and they are super fun and I might be taking old cases and just breaking them down. So that would be really fun. I will see you guys in a little bit and if I find stories that I like, I will probably be doing short little videos, just not full streams for the rest of the weekend. Thanks guys. Bye.